G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Enno here from Fantasy Take TV. Today just doing a quick update. AFL Fantasy Team and Real Dream Team. So obviously Fantasy's on the AFL website, Real Dream Team over on Sports Deck. So pretty much they've got similar scoring. Fantasy's the one where you can pretty much do 2 trades every week. Whereas Sports Deck or Real Dream Team has the fantasy scoring, but it's more like Supercoach and where it's limited trades and prices don't change up till 3 rounds, all that sort of stuff. So Real Dream Team's sort of a mix between the two, whereas fantasy's like trying to find value. And as far as I understand, George's been telling me what the strats are, but not even sure he knows himself. But been trying to figure out what it is. But yeah, Supercoach still number one, of course. We'll get a team reveal out for that tomorrow. Bit of housekeeping, so. Me and JD are doing a pod with some Dr. Supercoach boys tonight. So that'll be out soon. Then tomorrow night, me, JD, and George will do our final Fantasy Take TV podcast before the season. We'll get our team reveals out, maybe some other videos or whatever those boys have planned themselves. And then we've got that stream on Wednesday with the first game of the season. Us three will be on a live stream and just watching the first game, which will be good to have footy back. And be sure to join if you want. Join the Discord so you don't miss out on that sort of stuff. We actually another 2 things: running some games in the Discord. So obviously footy tipping, but Hamstring, one of the senior mods, has created Perfect 9. If you remember that back in Supercoach, it was a few years ago where you try and pick the highest scoring player of each game. So yeah, we're running some prizes, just little stuff like that in the Discord, which will be fun as well. So. Let's get to the team quickly. I'm not going to go too in depth with it, but obviously we know defense is pretty shot across all formats really, because there's very, very severe lack of rookies, and most of the top end guys don't really present a lot of value. So Crisp is probably one of those guys where you just pick, set and forget. He's not probably at value, but he's probably not going to underperform either. You wouldn't think. I mean, there might be a slight drop off. But I don't think that'll be in fantasy. It might more be in Supercoach with that more mid-time. But I think that's perfect for fantasy. He's a tackler. Racks up a lot of the pills, so not too worried about that with him. Whitfield and Short, they're the value guys, sort of premium, and then Hewitt and Sicily are sort of the lower guys who are a lot of value, but may not end up those premium scorers. But guys, we can definitely eke some cash out of. Ainsworth is the one I've been tossing up about. I do not know what to do at D6 or technically with the 6th defender. It's been McInerney at times. It's been just a rookie at times. But I think I've just settled on Ainsworth at this point. It might make me some cash and can just flick him on in later rounds. Then just, a couple of rookies and we'll figure out who's named round 1. Took, he's a C option every week for me. Got to have one of those guys. I'd love to pick more, but George is trying to be telling me the fantasy strats, and you probably sort of go cheap in the midfield and figure out everywhere else. So, Neil's underpriced, Cripps underpriced, Rao pretty much severely underpriced. Will Brodie I've got sitting there as well at the moment. Who knows if he gets picked? And if he does, probably going to be pretty good. I don't want to pick him in Supercoach because I don't know how long he's one that could stay in the team. But in fantasy, I think he's a guy I just pick. Get some cash out of if I can, and then move him on later. And then the big 3 rookies, I got all on field and no qualms about that. Saligo, not too sure if he plays, so we'll have to figure that out once that comes around. And McDonald, probably the same, but hopefully we get at least one of those guys, and then we might get some West Coast rookies as well. Brodie, Grundy, Max Gorm, just lock them in. I think they're the 2 clear number 1s in fantasy. Darcy's not really a fantasy guy. Marshall might be, Rob might be, but I just pick these 2 guys and don't have to worry about it for the rest of the season. Dunks, lock, Caniglio, even he's sort of more elevated price than he is in Supercoach. Still a lock. He looked really, really good. And Butters again, lock him in. Then I'm sort of toying with some cheapies here. Got Hugo Ralph Smith. If he gets picked, I think you can get some money out of him. Cherry, number 1 ruck roll. He's a lock in all formats for me if that's the case. And even if it's a bit of a split, still the case for me. Rochelle, yeah, we know what we're getting out of him. Seen in the preseason, you might get some low scores because of the nature of the role and the team he's playing for, but we'll lock him in as well. And then just filling out with, Dixon, Durden. I think I got McEntee at the utility spot, which, to be honest, I don't even know how to use it or what to do. So got him there, and now we'll move on to the RDT team. Quickly, league for fantasy, ZZY 62 EYV. So join up and we'll play some fantasy. See how we go. Now, RDT or Real Dream Team or Sports Deck, whatever you want to call it, but this is the one where you got to be more careful with your choices because you don't have unlimited trades or you don't have as many trades as you do in fantasy. So I'm locking in Crisp again, Whitfield, Shorty, Hewitt, Sicily. Those 5 are exactly the same. I've got Hinge at D6 and just going more rookies here. Sin and DeConning. Could get McCartan too, but he's a little bit more pricey and I don't even know how well he's going to average. But maybe I'll get him in. I think I do have the right amount of cash to do that if I want to. Going Took again as the C option. Maybe could have changed it up with Steele, but I think Took's just going to absolutely go bananas this year. He's got a ruckman, which he didn't have last year, and he's clearly just improving, moving into his prime. Mills, I just want to pick this guy. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in one of these games. So I know he's a bit underdone with his Achilles and pre-season, but he's definitely a fantasy guy too. Scored really, really well in fantasy last year. And he's just probably got some upside in Supercoach as well. But yeah, lock Millsy in, get to watch him and see him get some points for me every week. Neil again underpriced, and then this is where it gets a little bit different in RDT because it's like Supercoach where it just takes into account the previous year, whereas Fantasy takes the price and average over 2 years into account. So Shield is really, really discounted here. Rowley's, of course, as well because he's had 2 pretty down years, and Jared Berry as well. So try and squeeze Cripps in here. Like Berry maybe isn't so much of a must start, but they're all so cheap. Dacos and then Ward again. So I've got Horn-Francis on the bench, but he's not going to be the most amazing scorer in fantasy or dream team scoring. Probably more of a champion data love child, but that's how I've got it for now. Maybe I'll go Cripps. I think he's 600 odd. I can't remember, but I'll probably have to drop like a Mills or something. So probably just go with Millsy at this stage. Gorn and Grundy again, lock them in. Just fantasy scoring, I think they're the clear 2. Dunks, Butters, Caniglio again. Caniglio's cheaper in here because it does only take into account last year. Got Brody in the forwards down here as well, so we'll just monitor whether he's picked and whatnot. Cherry, I said, was a lock before, and Hugo again. So rookies are just pick whoever's named. Rochelle's there on the bench, so I got some decent rookies on the bench. Even got Stevens in the midfield as well, and then Dixon and Durden down for F8. So they're the teams for now. The league for RDT as well, 153,357. So, come and join the leagues. We'll play some fantasy this year, and tomorrow I'll release my final Supercoach team. So, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.